It's really hot. I'm not gonna turn on the fan because I noticed that the last video I had a trouble with the audio. The phone was like very confused in what to record. Let me change. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Peter Planter, and today we are going to have a different content. Today we're going to talk about succulents and cacti. These are my not so little collection of succulents and cacti. They are in arrangements because I wasn't able to have I don't have enough pots for them. So that's the reason why I have them in arrangements. It's really so hot. So today I'm going to talk about succulents and cacti, how to take care of them, what are the do's and don'ts when you take care of cacti and succulents, what are the mistakes that people usually cause or people usually do when taking care of them, and yes, some other stuff. So shall we get started? Because I want to start because I'm afraid this table might collapse. These pots are really heavy, and I had a hard time bringing them here. This table cannot carry the load of the succulent arrangement. I'm just gonna show you a clip once I'm done with this entire video. As you can see right here, I have different kinds of succulents where I placed them in a succulent arrangement because initially I didn't have any pots and I really didn't have any place for them anymore. Some of these are just the excess of what I had in stock for my shop. I actually had a lot of stocks, and then the rest are excess. Not excess, but sobra. Kana. Para di ka maglibog diri, sobra, dili excess. So I bought these. So I got my succulents from Manila. I actually bought them by bulk. I did actually buy them before, I think 2 years ago when my shop was still open. Now it's temporary closed because I couldn't manage it well. I'm so busy with thesis and everything. But it will open soon once I finish school, and I think I will have a physical shop sooner or later. We'll see. But yes, the shop that I bought this, guys, from Manila is the Green Thumb Plant Shop. It is a Facebook page that I found while searching succulent wholesale and retail, and they actually supply succulents for the retailers, for the resellers, for shops, and they're pretty decent. Price wise, very affordable. What else? Quality wise, very affordable. Quality wise, very nice. I got my succulents in a healthy shape. I only had one trouble when it was a rainy season, and then I ordered around 30 succulents, and then 10 was eh. So yeah, I definitely 100% recommend Green Thumb Plant Shop in Facebook. You can search them. But unfortunately right now they do not deliver through LBC because of this pandemic, so they only deliver in Manila. But wait until they deliver. They already opened their deliveries nationwide because they would deliver through LBC, and yes, it's really worth it. I tell you guys, if you love succulents, I really recommend that shop. And yes, I did. So now let's go to care. I want to clear things out. I want to help my friends who has cacti, who has some succulents with them. I want to help you guys for those who are having a hard time with succulents, because succulents really aren't that difficult to take care of. It takes patience and let's say technique. I had troubles with the first few months of taking care of succulents without having any knowledge. I did not have any knowledge with succulents at all. I just went for it and bought 40, 60, 100 plus succulents without knowing how to take care of it. When I had it delivered in my house, I it was that it was the time when I had it, like when I had my time to research and everything. I've heard a lot of things from online where they say that succulents, you just need to give your succulents the sun, just the full sun. Just simple as that, like 1, 2, 3, done, mana. Mabuhay na rin succulents, pero actually succulents are more like the other plants. They some succulents actually require different amount of sunlight depending on what variety of succulents. Some succulents cannot handle a full sun, and some succulents will need a full sun to show their colors and everything. I know you've seen a lot of things online, or a lot of pictures online where succulents are very pretty, very colorful, like with pinks, oranges, violet, purples, what else? White, blues. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you how to achieve those kind of colors. So the first factor that I'm going to talk about for the succulent care is light. Light for succulents can depend on every species. Just for example, this Graptosedum, or no wait, Graptovaria fredives, if I am correct. This is a pretty large succulent. This has been with me for over 5 years already. I don't know, you should see it up close. That. And look at that, there's a baby right there. Actually, these Graptovaria fredives are the babies of this big guy right here. I call this the mama one. This kind of succulents can tolerate full sun when acclimated. Acclimate means when you slowly make your plants adopt with the amount of sunlight or amount of water, or just adjust, okay? You don't want to put your succulents or your plants directly under the heat of the sun for 24 hours or let's say 12 hours, because just like your skin, it would burn and it would cause sunburn. I don't know if I have a perfect example. Oh, yes. This includes cacti. Wow, cacti. This includes cacti because not all cactus can handle full sun if you don't let them adapt to full sun or acclimate to full sun. Let me show you an example. For example, this guy right here, I know it's in a spam container. Well, I make use of what I have. Basically, this guy right here is the babies of this prickly cacti. I'm gonna show you. The camera is pretty far, but that one, I've been hurt by this guy for a lot of times already, trying to repot this one. As you can see, the pot is very worn out. I haven't repotted this guy because it hurts. It's very sharp. I didn't like cactus at first. I didn't like cacti at first, but slowly liking them. So this is one perfect example of sunburn. You can see, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but you can see the yellow, like it's not anymore green, it's not anymore purple, but it's yellowish. So cacti does experience sunburn. It's not like in the movies or like what we used to know, where cactus really is like in the desert or something like that. They can tolerate very full hot summer sun actually when they are acclimated, but since they are considered as houseplants, they do need time to adapt with our sun. You can't just put them out there and fry up in the sun. You don't want your cactus to be like a buwad or something. So yeah, that's the first factor, is the sun. And also one thing that you have to remember, when you deplete your succulents with sun, they tend to stretch out and they don't look nice anymore. Especially those rosette ones, like the Echeverias, wow, I forgot. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've mentioned about succulent names and their scientific names or whatever. But yeah, those rosette ones, if you can see right here, this is a rosette one. That's a Graptovaria Debbie. No, that's not a Debbie. I have a Debbie right here. No, this one's a Debbie. You might not understand what I'm saying, but yeah, I'm just trying to, you know. Anyways, we are going to move on. We're done with sun. Next, watering. So when you water your succulents, you might have known, like we might have known for a long time, where they say you don't have to you don't have to water your succulents or your cacti because they are drought tolerant, and like they don't mind being dry at all. Yes, they do not mind being dry at all, but you cannot just not water your succulents and cacti for a year, or like even for like 6 months. You're basically going to kill your succulent or cacti eventually when you don't water them. Well, they need water, of course, just like us, but they are more tolerant than the usual plants. They do appreciate being dry for like weeks, so that they won't, not they don't have, so that they won't experience root rot. Succulents and cacti have a very fine root system compared to the normal plants that we have here at home, like the malunggay, the avocado, the other stuff. They have a very pretty gentle and fragile root system that is very susceptible for root rot, and you don't want that. I don't have a routine to like water them. Like I just water them when I see them dry, because they don't really mind. They don't mind actually. They actually color up when they dry up. Recently we have been experiencing a lot of rain, and I'm gonna show you what happens to succulents when you water them too much, or when it receives so much water. And you see this guy right here, this upper left lonely guy is very that really wobbly guy right there. Now that guy is experiencing rot. Now what do you do when you experience rot to succulents? Just like this one. I'm gonna show you. So I was really afraid of cutting it because, you know, when you get your first succulent, you don't have much yet, but then when you have like overflowing succulents, then you don't worry at all. I am in the stage where I just cut my succulents off, and sometimes I just throw them away because I have a lot of them. So what you do is take your scissors. I have this small teeny scissors, not like mine. Mine is not tiny. So what you do is just take your scissors and cut it. So I'm gonna explain how rot looks like in a succulent, so that you guys would understand what to do, and like, you know, you guys would know what to do when your succulents rot. So here is a succulent, and if the camera can pick it up, I don't know if it could, but there's a discoloration of, like in the stem right there, like here. You can see that it's a little bit brownish. I can see it now. Can't trust my eyes because I don't have a perfect eyesight. So what you do is just take out, oh my gosh, it's so far. Just take out some leaves. Don't be afraid, you can propagate them. Like, until you have like a green stalk left. Once you have that green stalk left, then you can snip it again. And now let that dry, because you don't want that to rot again. So that, guys, is what happens when you overwater your succulents, or when succulents receive too much water because they don't like water. Next, we have done light, sunlight, water, fertilizing. Okay, fertilize. I know some of you don't really appreciate fertilizing with plants or succulents because you think that they're very, like, they just survive in any condition, but no, succulents actually need a lot of fertilizer as well, especially when you do like this arrangements right here. You want them to stay as healthy as you want, and fertilizer also gives them a lot of energy to push out the colors and the growth that they needed to do. Because yeah, just for example, I don't know if you can see it. This one is a Haworthia zebra. Very common name for this one is a zebra plant, or a Haworthia zebra. I actually fertilize this one every time I water it, about every other 3 weeks or every other 2 weeks, because this was a slow grower, and even though it's a slow grower, I just want it to grow faster. So just imagine if I fertilize this one and it still grows pretty slow. What more if you don't fertilize your plants, right? What more if you don't fertilize your succulents? So this would grow very slow if you don't fertilize them. And this is, by the way, this is one of my favorite like succulent aloe type, because look at that. It's very, my arms are sore. You don't just buy succulents and leave them there and expect something to grow out of it. So no, you fertilize them, treat them as a normal plant. No, not normal plant. Treat them as a succulent. Next, soil. The soil requirements for succulents and cacti are pretty simple. In the Philippines, we don't have like the store-bought cacti soil mix, you know, not like what I see in YouTube of Garden Answer, of Laura Eubanks, of Plantarina, where they can just buy store-bought like instant soil for cacti or for succulent. But here in the Philippines, we have to mix our own soil if you're very meticuloso with succulents. You're very meticulous with succulents. So first, I recommend you guys to have your soil pretty much well draining. They appreciate a well draining soil. A soil that does not really hold so much water and moisture, but allows them to suck in the water, you know, let them suck the water. So yeah, that's the first thing you have to remember. You would see a difference though when you pot a succulent with the soil that they don't want. They won't grow as happily as the others. But if you pot them in a soil where it's well draining, they can breathe, they can absorb the fertilizers, they can absorb the nutrients and all of those things, good things, then they would grow very fast. Just like this one, I didn't mix this one with a very good mixture of soil, and it is weird. The last thing that I want to tell you, people say that succulents are very hard to take care. They don't like, their succulents die on them, their cacti die on them. There's one thing, or there's like factors that you have to see. You have to understand your succulents. So first, why do succulents die on you? That's the first thing you have to think about. Like, why? Where do you place them? Do you place them in a room where not much sunlight goes inside your room and would actually not provide your succulents with enough energy? Second, you might have been overwatering your succulent or not watering them properly. And then the third factor could be pests. They have a lot of pests as well. First, number one pest that I have with my succulent and cacti are snails. Since I have them outside and place them in my garden or in the lawn, snails are one of the most annoying pests that I have, which would munch on my succulents overnight. Yeah, you have to like know the reason why. Is it the light? Is it the water? Or does it have pests? Succulents for me are very easy to take care of. There are some succulents that I have killed before. Not some. I don't know if more than 10 succulents, if you still call that some succulents, but yeah, I have killed a lot of succulents before. And lately, if I haven't mentioned about this one lately, the reason why I just placed them in a, arrangement like this, because I've seen them grow better and grow faster with arrangements like these compared to having them in a single pot. I think that's it for this video. I hope I helped you understand more about succulents. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new to this channel. It's Peter Planter. And if you want to be if you want to be notified with, if you want to be notified every time I post a video, don't forget to click the notification bell. And don't forget to share this with your friends who love succulents and cacti. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!